Everyone, welcome back to Art and Life. I'm your host Rishika, and I know it's been a while. हम काफी दिनों से मिले नहीं हैं, and even I was not keeping so well. But I'm back again with a new theory concept of art for you guys. This time we are going to talk about how to prepare an art. You guys will say that we have all the tools, we are having the knowledge of drawing, we'll create something. But I'm not talking about that. When we talk about the art theory, we talk about elements of art while creating an artwork. So we are going to talk about 5 important elements of art which help us to create an artwork. It's not only about the mindset or the tools we have inside our box, but these elements are also important to keep in mind when creating an artwork. So these 5 elements are line, shape, form, color and space. I'm going to show you how. So first one is line. So line is something which we get when we connect 2 dots on a paper. That is the most simplest thing I can say about lines. We all know that whatever we start, even if you are starting a cartoon or a sketch or a big painting, we always start it with a line or a dot. So this is the most basic element, and lines are different kinds, like I think the zigzag lines, curved lines, straight lines, diagonal lines. So you know all kind of lines basically. We just don't know the names, but we always use those lines in our sketches or paintings. Now moving on to the next one, which is shape. As a toddler also we know and we are introduced to all kind of shapes which are mostly geometrical. These are square, circle, triangle, and I'm drawing some different shapes which are not having any specific name. You can call it a free shape, or you can say polygons are also there, which are having multiple sides, are known as polygons. So sorry. So shapes are equally important to create an artwork. Now moving on to the third one, which is form. Now here comes the confusion. When I say that a form is a shape, but shape cannot be a form, it's confusing, right? So let me tell you that shapes is something which we draw on a 2D surface, which are having only 2 dimensions. Like if I am drawing this square on this paper with a pen, it is having only length and breadth. But when we say form is having a third side. It is a 3D. It is a 3D shape, we can say, because I am drawing the third side of it. If I say that square is a shape, then cube is a form. If I say that triangle is a shape, then pyramid is a form. So the forms are 3D. The form is a shape, but shape can't be a form. So I hope you are getting my point. Now moving on to the next one is color, one of my favorite topics from the elements. So colors are again most important things to make a painting. Sometimes you see the artists are not even drawing, they are just applying the paint on the canvas, right? So colors are very different kind of colors are there. Like it has a, like colors are having a huge variety, huge types, or I can say lots and lots of colors are there. When you go deeper into the colors and their names, it gets clumsier. बहुत कठिन हो जाता है हमारे लिए, क्योंकि कलर्स बहुत तरीके के हैं और सबके बहुत अलग अलग नाम हैं. जब आप बाज़ार लेने जाते हैं तब आप जान पाते हैं कि कितने टाइप के शेड्स आते हैं, एक कलर के कितने सारे टिंट्स और शेड्स होते हैं. सो वी विल गो बैक टू दैट लेटर. सो नाउ कलर्स आर वन ऑफ द इम्पॉर्टेंट एलिमेंट्स विच हेल्प अस टू make an art. After drawing, after sketching, scribbling, anything, you just go to colors, right? So it's important element. For the basic knowledge of yours, I should tell you that there are primary colors, which are 3: red, blue and yellow. These are called primary colors, which cannot be prepared from any other color. They exist in nature naturally. They exist in nature naturally. So coming on to the last one, which is space. Space is having two types. Let me tell you, the definition of the space is whatever we are drawing on. In my case, this white paper is my space. And all these things which I have drawn on this page is the part of this space. So now I am going to tell you the definition of space. Space is around, between and within the components of the piece of art. Means whatever I have made on a page, whatever I have drawn on a canvas, the space between the objects or the designs, or space around the designs or within the design, is called the space, the fifth element. So now the space is of two types, positive and negative. So it's very simple, guys. Whatever I have drawn on this part, all these shapes and these forms, this color swatches, all these come into positive space, and all this leftover space, which is white, you see this part, and the space between these shapes, that all is negative space. So I think these 5 elements of art are very clear to you guys now, and I'll be seeing you in my next video.